Hello. Today we're going to review inputting prior settings data into Infinite Campus while you're completing the K-Screen implementation for the 25-26 school year. Collecting prior settings data is a required step in ensuring accurate records for incoming kindergarten students, which supports data tracking and state reporting requirements. Please take note that this training will review directions for both the current version of Infinite Campus and the new version being released later this fall. The first thing you'll want to do when starting this process is go ahead and log into Infinite Campus and pull up the student information of the student you want to enter early learning and prior settings. In just a moment, I'll pull up our Infinite Campus site with an example of the screen you'll arrive at. Our staging site utilizes artificially generated student information and does not contain actual student data. All the information you'll see displayed on the video today is not a real student. Let's go ahead and get started and pull up the staging site so you can follow along with me. Now we've arrived at the students page. Generally, when you arrive at this page, you'll see the Summary tab. The Summary tab has a student's basic information accessible, such as the birthday, home address, SSID, and basic demographic information. This tab is typically found under the Student Information section on the left navigation menu, but its location may vary depending on your district's setup. The tab we're looking for is the Early Learning Prior Settings tab. It's important to note that many of us will have a different number of tabs available to us that was set up by the discretion of your local Infinite Campus administrator. Once you click on that tab, this screen should appear. The first thing you'll want to do is add Early Learning Prior Settings. At this point, we're going to switch to the new version and get us right up to this same destination, and then we'll enter in prior settings. Let's move on to the new version of District IC and navigate to Early Learning Prior Settings. You'll start by clicking on the student information from the main menu. Next, you want to click on State Programs. From there, click on Early Learning's Prior Settings to access the necessary information. Please note, the process of entering data is identical in both the new and current version of Infinite Campus once you arrive to this point, the Early Learning's Prior Settings screen. If the student is a retained student or a repeat kindergartner, you should see at least one prior settings already listed. We will proceed by entering in a sample Early Learning's Prior Settings entry to ensure accuracy and clarity in the process. Let's go ahead and add our Early Learning Prior Settings for this student. We'll first click Add Early Learning Prior Settings button. Next, click on the drop-down menu labeled Type. You will see 12 different options. Please review them carefully and select the one that best describes the child's prior setting. Those 12 different types are state-funded preschool, which is a preschool education program that's publicly funded, a Head Start, which is a federally funded program that provides early childhood education and support to preschool-aged children. Childcare is a facility licensed by the state that focuses on care of young children. Home is selected if the child spent the year prior to starting kindergarten at home. Private sitter is an individual who provides childcare in a home setting, either in the child's home or their own. Kin care refers to childcare provided by a relative. Therapy refers to the specialized program where young children receive developmental support such as speech, occupational, or physical therapy before starting kindergarten. Other, a common use of this selection is an in-state child care facility that is not licensed by the state of Kentucky. Kindergarten. The kindergarten option is to be used for retained kindergarten students who will also be participating in the K-Screen implementation for the upcoming school year. Out-of-state funded preschool, out-of-state Head Start, and out-of-state child care facilities. These options will be selected with the definitions that matches the terms above, but that the services were received in a state other than Kentucky. Please note that there are no pre-populated options for these settings. When selecting a state-funded preschool, you should have multiple names pre-populate for you, and you should be able to search as well. Let's go ahead and click state-funded preschool. Now that we've clicked state-funded preschool, there's a drop-down box, and you can also type in that information, the school that the student attended. Let's go ahead and type that in. As you can see, a pre-populated list occurs. Look in the pre-populated list for the location where the student attended and click on that option. You want to ensure that there is a complete address. If it is a state-funded preschool, you'll see a district and a school code in the place of the license number. Typically, you'll want to see a license number, district, or school code filling out in this field. Next, you want to enter in a start date. In most situations, the year before began in August or September of the previous year, and the year ended in May or June. Let's go ahead and enter in those dates now. Before clicking Save, take a moment to review all the information that has been entered in for accuracy, including the facility name, address, and dates. This helps prevent the need for later corrections. Once you've clicked Save, you can see the student's information in front of you. To indicate that the information is complete, the type, the name of the facility, and the location of the facility, as well as the start date and end date, should be entered. To ensure the information was entered correctly, simply reload the summary page and then reload the Early Learning's prior settings page. This will indicate to you that the information was completely saved into Infinite Campus. Please note that when entering this information into Infinite Campus, you only need to account for the year prior to the student being in that kindergarten classroom. For a retained student, ensure that prior setting entries are in chronological order. The first entry should reflect the setting before their initial kindergarten year, and the second should document the retained kindergarten year, while other students should only have 1 year of information entered. If you have any additional questions or require assistance entering in information into Infinite Campus, I'm happy to help. Feel free to email me at tiffany.christopher@education.ky.gov. Thanks for joining me today for this training.